Hi, hello, good morning, and welcome to this week's serving of Mickey Waffles, a Disney podcast where we cover everything from parks, movies, and merchandise. My name is Sinead.
My name's Kate. Hi guys, how's it going? That genuinely sounded like I was listening to it on Spotify on like my phone and was like, "Oh, this is fun."
You get to hear what the listeners hear.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Oh dear.
I'm recording from
How are we all doing?
live in Wicklow Town. Not Wicklow Town. Wicklow
I was
County.
about to say, you my Town.
No, I don't know. How are we all doing, guys? How's life? How's Sinead?
I'm fine. I feel like this has been the most productive time of my entire life because I have nothing else to do.
That's completely fair. I, for once in my life, well, not today because I've got about 3 days worth of clothes to wash. But other than that, I have every single item of clothing I own washed, which I don't think I've ever had.
Oh, same. Oh, same. I took the last load of washing, which was pretty much just bed sheets and socks.
Yeah.
I'd washed all the clothes and it was just bed sheets and socks. So I now have every single pair of socks, bar ones that I wore yesterday and the ones that are on my feet today, all of them washed. And I have more socks than I potentially care to actually divulge on this podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like people will judge me.
I washed all my socks and we've got a lot of pairs because we went through like the odds bag that's been sitting in the utility room for ages. And suddenly like 15 pairs of socks that I forgot I ever owned have just appeared. And I'm like, oh, look at this drawer. It's now full.
Yeah, I'll tell you later, but I have an obscene amount of socks. It's horrific.
We'll save that one
But
for
anyways.
after the recording.
Oh my god, honestly. So yeah, we are through the magical interwebs. We are still managing to record. Apologies if any of this sounds bizarre.
Yeah, I'm currently recording through a Apple headphones mic that I had to borrow off my sister because I don't own any headphones with a microphone attached. So we had to go a rummaging.
I mean, we make do.
We do.
It is what it is. So, because obviously there is no park news except for the one glaring bit of park news, which we will talk about. This will probably just be a bit of a random chit chat about life in general, and we both decided, because we've both been turbo cleaning our rooms, that we discuss our 5 favorite Disney things in our rooms.
Yeah, we've got loads to
That's
talk
just
about.
an extra little thing to talk about.
Yeah, we've never had so much to talk about. We've got a plethora of items on the agenda today.
Oh yeah, whopping 3 things.
Compared to that time when we had that Disney Plus launch episode and we had like 56 items to talk about.
Oh my god, remember. But anyways, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, shall we start with the one and only news?
Sure.
So big topic of discussion. The only topic of discussion is COVID-19. Woo 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 woo. All the Disney parks have announced that they are closed until further notice. They have stopped with the old domino dates of hopping from one to another. They're closed till further notice, and they will reopen again when they decide it's okay to.
Although you were saying that you think they're taking reservations from June, is it?
Yeah, I saw a post. Could have been on Instagram, could have been on Reddit. Who knows? They're all the same to me these days. And someone put up that they are taking reservations from June 1st. So I guess they think maybe that it's going to be over by then. Bit presumptuous considering how the US are handling things. So this is talking about Disney World are taking bookings from June 1st. But yeah, a bit presumptuous of them to be like, yeah, by June 1st we'll be all G, because who really knows?
Yeah. As for DLP, I mean, that'll be completely dependent on what the French government says. And without getting political, the French government seem to be handling things better than America.
Oh,
so
just a smidgy woony.
A little bit. So, yeah. So if I know the only person that I know personally that their trip has been impacted is the trip that my brother, my sister-in-law, and my nieces were supposed to take at the end of May, which I'm fairly sure they've cancelled now.
Well, end of May. I feel like end of May is still a bit touch and go, isn't it?
I think so.
So, along with them announcing that they're not opening until further notice, what other 2 pieces of news have we got from Disney?
So Disney announced that they were closing all the parks, all the stores, the cruise ships weren't going to be going, and blah blah blah, and that they were paying cast members. And then they took the 10 million Disney College program folk and just sent them on home.
And they were like, bye. And they literally only gave them like 4 days to get home.
Yeah. So whilst Disney are saying that they are paying cast members, and certain cast members are getting paid, which is fantastic. Not all cast members are getting paid. So I know a lot of people that are seasonal or people that are in like entertainment and stuff, because they're on a slightly different contract, they ain't getting paid,
Yeah. So like,
which is not good, but
yeah.
it is what it is.
Part of me is like, they're such a big company, like surely they can just take the hit. They don't, it's not even like they pay their cast members overly well a lot of the time. But sure, look, it is what it is. On the complete opposite side of that, you have the Disney cruise ships that are in full operation, just with no guests on them. And they're still doing everything just for the cast members. And so,
And the cast seem to be living the best life.
yeah, so basically, if you are in entertainment, or if you are in characters, or if you are in tours or any of that on the ship, you are still doing those, but you are doing them for cast members on their days off. And then if you're a cast member who usually does a job that is completely guest facing, you are doing like extra training and going to a lot more training sessions and doing a lot more volunteer stuff on the ship. Like we know a girl who is on the Dream, and they just finished this massive mural that's going to go into a children's hospital in America, and they painted the entire thing, and then they're going to slap it all on the wall when they get back. So yeah, it's all a bit mad, to be honest, but they're living like, they obviously have their own cabins, but then food and everything is all within the guest areas, and they're allowed to use the guest facilities, and it's all just a bit weird.
I mean, happy days. I can think of worse places to be stuck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know for a fact that there is another girl who I used to work with in Disney, and she is on the Princess cruise liners, I think that's what they're called, and they're basically doing the exact same thing. They're just like, yeah, you have free reign of like the guest areas, just go for it, because you can't get off the ship and all this food is on the ship. So I guess it just makes more sense.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like a lot of people who work on the cruise ships don't necessarily have visas to work in America, so they
Yeah.
can't live in America and still get paid, because their visa doesn't count for them working there, because technically they're supposed to be working in international waters. So they're kind of just keeping them there.
Yeah, and they can't leave because the whole ship is just like a hub for the virus, that if one person gets it, it'll just completely spread. So it's just safer to keep
Yeah.
everyone on. But the guys on the Dream did recently get to go to Castaway Key and just stretch their legs for a bit. And again, characters were just there. And I was like, this is crazy.
So good.
All a bit
So
mad.
good.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, if you were to be quarantined anywhere, you'd want to be on a Disney cruise line for free.
Oh yeah.
Like, even if they
Yep.
turned around to me and was like, hey, we can't pay you while you're stuck here, I'd be like, that's fine. Like, I don't
I can
intend
just have
on
a 3-month-long cruise. Happy days.
yeah, like, I don't intend on spending all this money on my bills when I get back anyway, so what does it matter?
Exactly. So what was the other piece of news that came from COVID-19, Kate?
What else came? Oh, the CEOs, the lords that are above, have taken a percentage pay cut due to the whole
Yeah.
COVID-19 situation. How much of a pay cut? Who knows? But, you know, they've been the good guys in this one, and they've taken their cut.
For context, people, in 2019, Bob Iger earned $48 million.
Wow.
$48 million. Like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy. Isn't it?
No person needs to earn that much money in a year.
Bit mad. 48 mil. Think how many Disney cruises you could go on for 48 mil.
Honestly, think how many Disney cast members he could pay for that amount of money.
Yeah, instead of taking a percentage cut. Like, come on.
Honestly.
Come on.
Ridiculous.
But they've also done something special for guests who had to cancel their trips in Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World.
Oh, yeah.
So
what are they doing, Kate?
In Walt Disney World, they have given compensation for anyone who had to cancel. I think it's before the 12th of March. They have a very specific date that you had to cancel before. or cancel on the date of or after. But if you cancelled before, like of your own volition, it doesn't count. So they have a date. And if you had to cancel your trip in Walt Disney World due to COVID-19, they're giving you a free dining plan for your rebooked date. And then in Disneyland Resort, they don't really have dining plans, but they have said that they will offer compensation. The post literally just says compensation will be offered to guests who had to cancel. So I don't know if it's like a case by case thing. Like they might see like what your party's like and give you stuff accordingly. Or I know that you mentioned earlier on the week that they might just give them free Max Pass for their stay.
Yeah.
Or
they might give them like Max Pass and gift vouchers or something like that.
Yeah, or they might offer them a free meal in like a certain restaurant on site. But who knows? But it's nice that they're doing at least something when it's nice that they're offering compensation for something that literally was out of their control and they had no way of doing anything about it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, Disney flooded, so we had to close or anything like that. Like it's a global pandemic that they had no control over, and yet they're still offering compensation. So that's quite nice.
Yeah. DLP hasn't announced doing any of that.
That's unsurprising. Very non-surprising.
The only thing that they've said that they will do is for however long the park is closed, that gets added on to the end of your annual pass.
Oh yeah, they've done the same thing in Disney World and Disneyland Resort. I think it started with they'd add an extra month, but now they're just like, yeah, however long we're closed, we'll just stick that back onto the end of your annual pass, which is very kind of them to do. But the incessant like begging from people at the very beginning of it being like, you better extend my annual pass. I was like, whoa,
So
calm down. Like just take a deep breath now and realize your situation.
There are more important things going on in the world than how long your annual pass is valid for. You absolute knob.
For context, Sinead just put her whole hand up to her camera screen and I thought she was telling me to shut up.
No, sorry.
I was sorry. I've either said an incorrect fact or Sinead's like, be quiet. No, I was just having a stretch. So yeah, that's literally it for Disney news. We got nothing else for you. Soz.
The only other thing is that, like me and Bref mentioned last week, Disney Plus has launched, and I think it came at a very perfect time for everybody well, not everybody, for most people in Europe. Sorry, France. And yeah, I mean, we both spoke about it a little bit on the episode that I did with Bref, but you've had it for like a week now, Kate. How are you enjoying it? How are you liking it?
Yeah, I am quite liking it. I do agree with something Bref said last week that a lot of the content is very buried and they only advertise a lot of the big hitters all of the time. And it takes a lot for them to advertise other stuff to you. Like, I went and found Rescue Rangers because I knew it was there. But now, because I've watched Rescue Rangers, they're like, hey, you might like DuckTales and Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles and all this other stuff that I didn't know was on it. And see, I don't, but Ed does. And he's like, yeah, I really want to watch Gargoyles. And I'm like, I've never heard of it.
Loved it.
So definitely going to give that a watch. I've also been watching the 90s Spider-Man. So they have the 90s Spider-Man and they also have the 80s Spider-Man, which is the wacko one. So they're also really great to watch. I find my initial thoughts were that the UI was a lot smoother than Disney Life, but after playing with it for a bit, it's definitely smoother, but it's not perfect. Like, the controls for the video change depending on what you're watching. So sometimes I can pause with my spacebar, like in Netflix, and sometimes I can't. And then sometimes at the end of an episode, it'll be like, hey, do you want to watch the next episode? And sometimes it won't. It'll just like stay there.
Actually, yeah, we found that when we were watching that Pixar in Real Life series.
Oh yeah.
With the first episode, it didn't give us the option to continue on, or it didn't automatically start the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we watched the second episode, it did let us automatically start the third episode.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, I was watching Sweet Life Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and when I was watching that, everything just kept going, and it did it for like 6 episodes, and I was like, oh great. But then the next day I started watching Simpsons and it did it for 2 episodes, and then the third one it just sort of stopped, but there was also no way to go back to the main menu. I had to click the Disney Plus bookmark on my thing to get out of it. There was no, do you know the
Okay.
way at the top
That's a bad
left
idea.
hand corner, it's got one of those little arrows that you click and it brings you
Yeah.
back? Like that wasn't there. And so I had to just reload the entire website.
Weird.
Which these are all very, very small things to nitpick at. But I would hope that like something like this would have a pretty seamless UI with all the money that's definitely gone into it. And especially for
Yeah.
Disney, I would have thought, like, I know Disney Life was a bit of a guinea pig, and so they definitely cheaped out on some sort of stuff. But the app for sure definitely works smoother than the Disney Life app did. That's absolutely guaranteed.
Well, that's good. And I mean, that's, I suppose, kind of all we can really ask for to
Yeah.
have something better than Disney Life and cheaper.
Yeah, much.
So,
Yeah, the cheap aspect's very good, and especially for the quantity that I'm getting. Like the entire Tangled the series is on it, and that wasn't on Disney Life for some reason. And obviously then you've got all of those 80s and 90s cartoons, and then all of those 50s and 60s Mickey Mouse classics on it as well.
do you
So
know what's not on it though?
what
Silly Symphonies.
is it not?
No,
Wow, I wonder why.
because I wanted to see if the Skeleton Dance was on it, and the Silly Symphonies aren't on it at all, which I find really strange.
I wonder why that is. I wonder if they're locked up in some sort of like what's the word I'm looking for?
Like,
Like copyrighted something something. I don't know how
yeah,
copyright works.
I don't know. That was a bit sad.
That's a bit annoying, isn't it?
I'm probably the only person that would have known, would have gone and looked for that and actually cares, but still.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they deal with uploading new content because I have heard a lot of people in America who have had it since launch date in the US that are quite bored of it. And
Okay.
because there isn't a lot of new content going up because obviously they've reached the end of all of their series. So like Mandalorian, the Imagineering story, all of those ones that have been coming out weekly, they're not starting up again until May, I think it is. So
Okay.
so for a good few months now they've been stuck with nothing new apart from Frozen 2 and onward.
They're getting Star Wars soon as well, aren't they? I think.
Um yeah, but
Well,
like
soonish.
that's like 3 movies in the space of like 4 months. And so I know that a lot of
Yeah.
people were like, I think I'm just going to cancel. But then you've got everyone who has any form of a child in their house that's like, this is a godsend. I will never cancel this subscription.
But that's the thing, like, I think, like, Disney Life and not Disney Life, Disney Plus, and like people keep comparing it to Netflix, but like Netflix is a very different beast. Like, Netflix puts out so much content on a daily basis
Yeah.
that's so varied. They put out so many different series and all this kind of stuff, but that's kind of like what Netflix is for. Like, I wasn't necessarily getting Disney Plus expecting it to replace Netflix. And I think if anybody was kind of thinking that, I think they just misunderstood what it was.
Yeah, when people were like, "Oh, if I get Disney Plus, that means I can cancel my Netflix subscription." I'm like, they're two completely different services. Now, I'd
Yeah.
happily agree now that if you have Netflix, Disney Plus, and possibly Amazon Prime, depending on where your taste is with Amazon Video, like dependent, because that's probably like a bit of an iffy one for some people. Like, I'd argue that you don't need any form of cable television, like
Oh yeah,
Sky or
no.
anything like that, if you're
No.
like because there's so many other ways to watch stuff now. And if you desperately
Yeah.
do need something, you can buy a Now TV subscription by the month if you wanted to watch
Mm.
something. So yeah, I really do think that Disney Plus has helped with the whole pushing away of like overpriced cable, if you know what I mean, like Sky and Virgin, all those kind of guys.
Yeah, like I think like even my brother and sister-in-law, they, I think they definitely used to anyways pay for the Disney Channel and stuff like that, and having all of the like Disney movies and all that on Sky.
Hmm.
And they're kind of like, but we can just pay, like they got it before it went to €70 a year. So they're like, we pay €60 a year and we never have to worry about the kids having stuff to watch because all they watch is Disney stuff anyways.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We don't pay for the kids package anymore in our house because we don't have anyone that watches any of the kids programs because Stuart just watches YouTube all day.
And you're
And
never there.
yeah, exactly. And but we still pay for movies. But now my mom is like,
Okay.
do we need movies because we have Disney Plus? And if you look at our Disney movies downloads, a lot of them are just Disney movies. or Sky Movie
Yeah.
downloads. There are a lot of just Disney movies that are in there, and she's like, I can probably stop paying for that now.
Yeah, because it seems like we will potentially, once all the like Sky partnership and all that goes, I think it'll probably end up that we'll follow a similar way that the States will, that like it gets released into DVD, DVD gets like a month or so, and then it goes on to Disney Plus, which I think is fair.
Yeah, I'm excited for Frozen 2 to come on in July, and I'm honestly kind of excited to see how long it takes for us to get Onward, because
Yeah.
they had such a quick digital release, and I know obviously it was out in America a little bit before us, so that's why, and obviously European and US release are all different and all that sort of stuff. But I'm interested to see if it comes before or after Frozen too.
Yeah, because I can imagine Sky were like, you ain't not giving us Frozen, because
Yeah,
obviously that would be a big movie for them to have. I'm
yeah,
excited to get
exactly.
Star Wars though. I want to watch Rise of Skywalker again.
Yeah, I started watching. Oh, speaking of Disney Plus, I have decided to watch all of the Star Wars movies because I've never watched like all of them. So last night I watched A New
Wait,
Hope. What?
what?
Yeah, I know. All I know of Star Wars is from working in the Disney store.
Oh my god.
So I watched A New Hope fully for the first time last night, and
Oh, Hope's my fave.
the extras acting in that movie is actually become one of my favorite things ever. They are so funny. They're like, "Whoa!" as they like fall down.
I love Hope is my favorite Star Wars movie. I love it so much.
I just think it's gas how they take like 20 seconds to fall on the floor after being
Oh
blasted.
yeah,
It's
it's
just
so it's so
hilarious.
ridiculous.
And Darth Vader is like so polite. Like when he's talking
Huh?
to like Darth Vader, he's so polite.
Oh yeah.
Like when he's talking to people, he's like, please go do this and go take your men and I will follow you up on this. And I'm like, whoa, who is this? I thought he was supposed to be like an all being killer. And he's like, good sir.
I mean, it's gent. It's James Earl Jones, all right?
It's
You
just
can't be rude.
it was great. I highly enjoyed. So I'm watching whatever 5 is called. I'm watching that tonight.
Okay. Okay, do you know what I think we should talk about now?
What should we talk about now?
What are we doing on Friday?
What are we doing on Friday? So on Friday, I'm gonna wake up around 1 a.m. No. So on Friday we are
1
host
a.m.
Yeah. So on Friday we are hosting our digital Disney drinks. Oh my god, you've disappeared.
Sorry, it was just the castle.
It's like you completely fell. That was so funny. You were like, bye. Yeah, so on Friday we are hosting our digital Disney drinks. Due to COVID-19, nobody is allowed anywhere, but we are continuing to have our social gathering on the Zooms.
Yeah, so we had planned to do a meetup, drinks, whatever we want to call it, in Dublin on the 3rd of April, but obviously all the pubs are closed. Everybody needs to stay home and wash their hands. So we were like, maybe we could just do it via the interwebs.
Everyone just sitting in front of their sinks at home, washing their
Yeah,
hands continuously and never stopping.
exactly. So we decided we would do it via Zoom. We've been using Zoom an awful lot to try to keep ourselves sane by having little video calls, and we've started a book club as well. So it's very handy. I've gone and paid for the full license of it so that it doesn't keep kicking us off every 40 minutes, which is very nice.
Yeah, but the problem was
And
it wouldn't tell you when it was kicking you off. It was just
yeah, it was just like, okay, bye. So yeah, if you want to join us, please do. We've had a bunch of people say that they would like to join. Just DM us your email address via the Instagrams and we will pop you over the invite.
Yep.
Everyone's welcome.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone is welcome. And FYI, we're doing a quiz.
Oh
So
yeah.
brush up on your knowledge because we're writing the questions. So you know they're going to be random.
Yeah, there's 5 rounds. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. And we also have a bank of questions, so if it goes well, maybe we'll do a second one.
Yeah, because I couldn't help it myself and I just kept writing them. So yeah, if we
Maybe
like,
something to do, Kate.
oh yeah, no, believe guys, just wait for this PowerPoint presentation. You will be so proud. So yeah, if you're in any way inclined to join us, please do send us on your email and we will send you the invite for the Zoomy drinks on Friday.
Yes. Also, someone asked, if you don't drink, that's totally fine.
Oh
Like,
god, yeah,
have
we're
a
not
cup of
gonna come
tea,
to your
have a
house
glass
and
of
knock you
water.
down,
We
like
don't care. The dress code is Disney, so bring your spirit jerseys, your t-shirts. Please wear ears. We'll both be wearing ears.
Oh,
They're
absolutely, yeah.
highly encouraged.
I have to think of which pair I'm gonna own. Well, not own, I own them all. I'm gonna have to figure out which pair I'm gonna wear.
I would say go for the pair that you rarely wear when you're in the parks, or if you've any ones that you've gotten since you've been in the parks.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a secret and keep it a surprise for Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, please come and join. It should be fun.
Woo!
Yeah.
So yeah, what will we talk about next? Do you want to talk about your 5 favorite things, or do you want to talk about things that have been keeping you sane? Because there are only other 2 topics.
Things that have been keeping me sane. Will we start with that? We'll finish with the 5 favorite things.
Okay, great. These are a few of my favorite things.
So things that have been keeping me sane. I've gone full Virgo and I have cleaned everything. My
Mm-hmm.
room has never been so clean
Excellent.
ever, I feel. So I've gone on like turbo cleaning mode. So that's kind of been keeping me busy. For context though, I am still working full time. So I don't have quite as much time to fill, at least 40 hours of my week. I am still working.
Yes, this is true. Can't relate.
What about you, KP?
So I am not in work. My job as an interpreter ended when all the colleges closes, and my job as a teacher folder closed when all of the shops closed it. So I am at home. I'm in my family home where I usually only spend maybe 6 hours a week. I've now been here 2 weeks solid. And have only left
Fun.
the house like maybe 4 or 5 times. So that's been a time. But yeah, the day that Leo Varadkar announced the not the full shut down, if you will, the one a couple of days before that where he properly closed all non-essential shops and all that sort of stuff. That night I went on to GameStop and ordered a Switch Lite, Animal Crossing, and the Professor Layton game for Switch because I knew that we were going to be stuck until at least the 19th of April. And
Nice.
I'd been debating it, and I was owed Christmas money from my parents, and I was like, "Ooh, will I? Won't I?" And then I did, and it was honestly one of the best decisions I've made in a long time.
Nice.
So it is my 5th day playing Animal Crossing, and I am enjoying it far more than I thought I would. It is so calming and peaceful because you like get your little tent and you can like buy your little house, and then you can like pay off your house loan by selling fish, and it's basically everything that I currently want to do in real life but can't. And so I get to do it in Animal Crossing. It's great. I get to build my little house and I get to put everything into it, and I can pay back the bank, and I can visit other people's islands, and I think it's a great game for the current time we're in.
Yeah. I mean, I commandeered Breffney's Switch and I've picked it up once since he left last week.
Oh my god, no, I play my Switch every day. I do, to be fair though, Stuart has a proper Switch he got for Christmas off Santa, and I got the Switch Lite because one, you can't buy a Switch anywhere, but also we didn't need a second Switch in the house, and Ed also has a full Switch, so we definitely didn't need 2 of the same console. So I got the Switch Lite, and I think that's kind of helping me play it more because it is a lot lighter than an actual Switch, and it is significantly smaller to like it's quite compact in your hands. So I do think
Yeah.
that is helping with the whole me being able to play it every day because it just like it's so much more portable, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I know that
Makes sense.
a Switch will, if you have it in your house, will tend to stay in the little cradle for it.
Mm.
And you only tend to take it away when you're like traveling or something. So I think that has helped. But yeah, personally, big fan. And it's helped a
Good.
lot. Other than that, yeah, as I mentioned, been doing a lot of washing. I've seen my bedroom floor. I've not seen my bedroom floor this clean for this long in a long time. And yeah, been doing a lot of actually haven't baked in a few days, but baking quite helps as well. Me and Stuart like to make scones, so because they're extremely simple and he can do them by himself. So it's something
Fair.
that he can just do. So that's been really good as well. So yeah, I think they're most things that I've been doing because obviously we go on some walks as well, but Rathdrum's quite small, so I find myself just either looping around or going up somewhere and then just turning back around and coming back so that I can make my walk longer than 20 minutes because I can
Okay.
walk all the way around my village and back home in 22 minutes, which isn't kind of a long enough walk to be outside the house.
Yeah, I get you. The only other thing I suppose I have really been doing is I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, considerably more than I normally do, and I listen to a lot of
A lot.
podcasts. I'm fully up to date on all of my podcasts. And then also, as I mentioned before, we decided that we were going to do book club, and I discovered that I bloody love audiobooks because it's just a big, giant, long podcast episode.
Yeah, I think what helps is that the book we've chosen, the woman who wrote it and who is doing the audiobook for it, is also a podcaster. So she has a very podcaster
Yeah,
voice and she knows how to deal with the mic very well. So I think
yeah,
that's
and
really
she's a
helped.
comedian, so she's funny.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying it. I actually amn't as far as I wanted to be yet, but I listened to a good bit more today. And yeah, she's just really easy to listen to, I find. Like a lot of her stuff
She
is
really, really is.
quite funny and she's very intelligent.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get her first book.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff she says, I'm like, wow, yeah, that's a really good point. Like, this is good. I'm
Mhm.
enjoying it.
I have an hour and 27 minutes left.
Oh, you're gonna be finished way before me. I have 6 hours left. Ugh,
Yeah. I started it on the weekend and just left it on while I was cleaning, cooking, everything else.
that's
So
fair.
it's just kind of been running.
Good stuff.
So yeah. Should we go on to our five favorite things in our room?
Yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's literally just sort of like a random chat to just like sort of give you something and have you have something to just sort of escape from your stuck little everyday.
Yeah, and it gives us something to do.
Yeah, this is gonna take up a whole 45 minutes. Go on, Shade.
I like had to run around my room and like find things. I'm gonna go the first like favorite Disney thing that I have in my room is probably my collection of Haunted Mansion Tsum Tsums.
I got you those.
Did so cast your mind back to 2015. Is that when Tsum Tsums became a thing?
Couldn't tell you, Sinead, to be honest. It's so far back in my memory.
I think it was 2015. Tsum Tsums were everywhere. Everyone was obsessed with them, and they came out with a Haunted Mansion park collection. And I was like, "Oh my god!" As you guys all know, I love the Haunted Mansion, and I was freaking out about it, and I really wanted them. And I was like, "Damn, I'm never going to be able to get them." And then Kate just rocked up to my house one day and was like, "Here's the full set."
Boom. Done. With the power of the internet.
And I love it. It has like a little cast member Zoom Zoom. There's a Madame Leota, there's the hitchhiking ghosts, there's the bride, and there's the like opera singer that's wearing like the hat with the little wings on it. And yeah, I love them. I think they're so cute. And they sit I have my Zoom Zooms like in one half the non spooky villains ones are in a Disneyland Paris biscuit tin. That has them in like a circle, and then I have this like coffin shaped box that a Jack figure I was given for Christmas one year was in. So then all my spooky ones, including My Nightmare for Christmas and all my villains ones and my Haunted Mansion ones, live in a coffin shaped box on top of my wardrobe.
How on brand for Sinead is that?
I know, right? So what's
um,
yours?
my first one is my little Pascal that lives on my wardrobe. So I have many a Pascal. I have Pin Pascal. I have Funko Pop Pascal. I have Um, I don't have another type of Pascal that's left me. But my favorite Pascal is my little cuddly one with its little wrappy arms that can sit on your backpack shoulders. But he's currently so I
And who
have
made you buy that?
you did see guys, can you tell that we've always
Such
needed each
influence.
other?
Such influence.
Yeah, so that was really great. So I got that Pascal when we went on our trip with the three of us, the third being Amy. To Disneyland Paris and we met Flynn and Rapunzel in the parade. So yeah, so now he just is clung to the side of my wardrobe because I have an open wardrobe, so it's just like 4 pillars around the side. And yeah, he's just super cute. I actually might
No.
my 5 little items, I might take some pictures of them and stick them up on the Algram. Um,
Hmm.
Whether this makes it to your ears or not, I'll still stick them up.
A
Yeah, so that's my number one.
Okay, cool. I feel like my second one is a little bit of a cop out, but it is technically in my room, and I'm gonna say my annual pass. My annual pass slash my lanyard because I have it hanging up.
Okay, that's fair. I'll allow
So
it. I'll allow it.
I have a Phantom Manor lanyard that I got from DLP, obviously, and then I have my little card holder with my annual pass and my photo pass in it, and I very much love them
Fantastic.
because obviously it's my key to the magic. It's my way of getting into the park, and I love my Phantom Manor lanyard like more than anything.
Yeah, you were
And
pretty.
it'll take a lot for me to change that lanyard.
Yeah, you were pretty excited when that one appeared, weren't you?
Oh, when I tidied my room the other day and I finally cleaned out under my bed, I found the little like the little like card thing that comes on lanyards. I found my Phantom Manor one of those. I got very excited.
Oh, sure. Look, magic's everywhere. Cool. So for my second one, I'm gonna say something that I quite recently purchased. So I actually purchased it while we were in somewhat of a shut-in. There is a vintage shop in Bray called Finders Keepers, and she's great and she's fab, but I can never get to her because she's in Bray. This lovely woman called
Fair.
Ruth. And every Sunday she does this thing, or Monday she does this thing called Power Hour, where she puts up a selected 12 to 15 items on Instagram, and it's first come first serve as to who wants them, and then she'll ship them to you. But obviously, due to COVID-19, she had to close. But she's been doing like 3 to 4 power hours a week. So I've had way more opportunity to buy product from her. And every now and again, she has some absolutely fantastic Disney vintage merch. And last week or the week before, I got this 90s pink Minnie Mouse hoodie from her. And it's just fantastic. It's so soft and it's so cozy and it's way too big for me, and that just makes it so much more perfect. And
I think that's fair.
I'm trying not to wear it every day because I know I'll have to wash it, and I'm kind of scared to wash it because it's so old.
Okay.
And I try to not wear it when I'm like eating things because I'm afraid I'm gonna drop food on it.
Maybe you can wear it on Friday.
Yeah, I might. I might wash it tomorrow on a cold wash by itself with no fabric softener and just detergent, and hopefully all will be well.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is also a clothing item. Can you guess what it is?
Can I guess what it is?
Yeah,
It's a Spirit jersey.
it is a Spirit jersey.
Is it your Oogie Boogie Spirit jersey?
Nope.
Um
It is my Silly Symphonies Skeleton Dance Spirit jersey.
Sinead, they were my it was going to be one of them, right? I had a good 50-50 chance here.
In fairness, I love all of my Spirit jerseys, which has basically been my entire uniform for this whole COVID-19 bullshit. But anyways, I love my Silly Symphonies one. It was a D23 exclusive from last year because last year was the 90th anniversary of the Silly Symphonies Skeleton Dance, and I absolutely adore the Skeleton Dance. I have it tattooed on my arm. It was always one of my favorite parts to go through when we did inductions in the store, and I'm just a little bit obsessed with it. And when I saw that they had a range of merch, let alone a Spirit jersey, I nearly lost my goddamn mind. And it just so happened that we happened to have the lovely Meg that was over in D23 and was willing to pick it up for me. And God bless her, she managed. And it's my favorite thing ever. Also, it glows in the dark.
Who knew, right? Who knew?
I didn't know it glowed in the dark until like last week.
That's what I said. Who knew?
So yeah, I love it and I wear it all the time. It has the like skeletons down the arms and it makes me so happy. I love it.
That's a good one.
Thanks.
For my number 3, I'm going to do like a collective of my Disney books. So I have my Disneyland Paris A to Z, and I have a classics Winnie the Pooh book that Ed got for me for our anniversary last year. No, the year before our first anniversary. It's like a book of Winnie the Pooh basically, and a bunch of like Winnie the Pooh stories and loads of pretty pictures and all that sort of stuff. And they're the kind of books that I'd never really have time to just sort of look at because they're not
Yeah.
really something they're not like a novel that you carry around with you in your backpack or anything that you can just read
Yeah.
on the go. They're big, yeah, coffee table like thick hardback books. And for the first time, I've had a chance to just sit down and look through them. I was looking through the Disneyland Paris A to Z one for some inspiration for the questions on the quiz that we're having on Friday. And then I was just sort of staring at my bookshelves because I was like, what books on here haven't I read that I would really quite like to read, to start pulling them? And I was like, oh my god, my Winnie the Pooh one, that one's really cute as well. So yeah, there's
Cute.
it's been nice to be able to take them out and have a little go at those.
Fab.
Cool.
That's fun.
What's your 4?
My 4th. It starts to get a little difficult now. I'm going to say my pin collection. I'm very picky with pins, and there are certain pins that I like. So I'm not one of these people. I don't really collect the hotel pins or anything like that. Although a firm fave is my Disneyland Paris hotel pin, because that we found a cast member that was wearing it and then immediately went to the Disneyland hotel to get it, and I was so excited because it's
That
a beautiful
pin
pin.
is outrageous. Now it's gorgeous, but it is outrageous.
I love it so much. And then some other faves. I have a nice little collection of Phantom Manor pins. If there's ever a new Phantom Manor pin out when I'm there, of course I get it. I also have a pretty decent collection of Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party pins. I have every year from 2015 to 2019. If anybody's going to be there for 2020, let me know.
If it happens.
And don't be saying that, Kate. And then what's another fave that I have? I have a cast member exclusive one that we got for Christmas one year. It came like on a Christmas card and it has Chippendale on it. I think it's 2013. I could be wrong on that. But it's like a little Christmas decoration that has Chippendale either side. So that's a cute one.
Oh, that's
so yeah, my pin collection.
My 4 was also my pin collection.
Oh.
Because I just never really realized how many I have. Because I'm aware I have
so many.
I am aware I have many, but like sometimes it's just so much fun to look at them. But I also have to regroup them because they don't all fit on the one board anymore. So when we came back from our last trip, would it have been either our last trip or when I last went with Ed, I picked up some and they don't fit on the one board anymore. But I bought like Hyperspace Mountain one, which obviously should go with all of the attraction pins, but now it doesn't fit. So I have to redo them all so that all the attraction pins can go together. And I think I bought a new Rapunzel one, so that one has to go with all the other Rapunzel ones. So yeah, I think I need to take them all down and redo them.
That's fair. Well, there's another project for you, Kate.
Yeah, I'm just slowly finding things to do.
That's all we can ask for. My 5th and final one, because I have another one, but it's technically not something that's in my room and it's not something that I see very often.
Is it in your house?
It's in my house.
I'll allow
but
it.
It's in the attic.
Oh wow, really deep in the house.
Yeah, it's. I'll just briefly mention it. I'm not having it as my number 5, but I have mentioned on the podcast before. It's my cast member exclusive Christmas ornament that we got in 2012. It's adorable. It's really cute. I'll post a picture of it every Christmas. You'll see it in December. Well, my other pick is also a present from Kate.
Wow, guys, I do have to give it to myself. I do think I'm quite good at picking presents. I do
You're
think
also
it's like
really good. Or, well, you used to be in the store because you would hang on and hang on and hang on and wait for stuff to go really cheap and then just like go in there. So like I have this amazing Star Wars lounge fly bag that cost Kate like £6.
I remember that. I was like, hey, do you want this? It was like real expensive.
You just bought it. You didn't even ask. You were just like, oh, hey, I bought you this. It was €6. I was like, oh, thanks.
I just couldn't believe it. See, that's the thing about working in the store is that you learn to just wait. And the thing is, like, it's easier when you're in there every day or like 5 days a week, obviously, because you see the stock every single day and you know when to pounce.
Yeah.
But man, like, because the same thing happens in Gap. Like, you can just tell when something's going to go into sale and you know how low it will go.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a hone skill, I have to say.
Yeah. So my number 5 isn't something that I used very often up until this year. And it's my Oogie Boogie Lazy Susan.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Which is it's up there with my Frankenweenie Goo Cup as potentially the weirdest Disney store item I own. But it's literally it's like that scene when Oogie Boogie is singing a song to Santa and he's on the like basically like Oh my god, the little spinny thing that's in casinos and stuff. I
A
can't speak
roulette
today of.
wheel, Sinead. A
A
roulette wheel.
roulette wheel. That's it. And it's a lazy Susan, and it has like 4 different compartments to it, and Oogie Boogie sits in it, and it now lives on my like dressing table. And one compartment is all my skincare, another compartment is all my perfumes. I have one that has other skincare bits, and then I have one that has all my hair stuff in it, and I use it literally every single day.
Isn't that mad?
Honestly, because I
That's
didn't use it for the
crazy.
longest time because I had no idea what to use it for or where to put it or what to do with a lazy Susan. And then I was like, I wonder if I put this on my desk. And it does. It keeps everything like nice and neat as well.
Wow.
So thanks, Kim.
No problems. You're welcome. I knew this time would come.
So what's your fifth?
My fifth is my. I counted as Disney. I'm going to show you. Well, I'll put a picture of it anyway. But it is
I'm
my.
intrigued.
Huh? What?
I'm intrigued.
It is my Japanese 3DS because it
Oh, okay.
has this like backing that's the Disney Castle, because in Japan they released a game called Magic Disney Magic Castle, and it's this full game in Japanese that I can't play. But when I was
Okay.
in Japan, I wanted to buy a Japanese 3DS for this game called Taiko no Jutsu, which is a drumming game, but it only worked on Japanese 3DSs. It didn't work on European ones. So I had to buy the whole 3DS. Now it ended up being extremely cheap because I got tax back on it because I was a foreigner. So it worked out pretty well. But that's my number 5 because I kind of forgot that I owned it, and also forgot that Taiko no Jutsu was a game that I love so much.
Yeah.
And before I got my Switch, I played that every single day
Oh, wow.
while we were here, because
What else were you going to do?
yeah, exactly. I find that when you've got nothing to do, being able to change what you do throughout the day really helps. So instead of sitting down and watching something for 10 hours, if you watch something and then go do something else and then come back to watching something, even if you've only got like three different things to do, it just helps. So yeah, that's been a big savior for me as well. And it's also super fucking cute.
Fab.
So yeah.
Tell us what your 5 favorite things are. DM us on Instagram
Oh
or tag
yeah.
us in. Whatever.
Yeah, whichever, please. Oh no, tag us in a post. I'd prefer if you took a picture of your 5 favorite things, put it on your grid, tagged us, so we could put it on our story, or put it on your own story. Because I like it when people do the visual ones. I also like
Yeah,
when we
me
can
too.
share them. Like, it's great when you guys message us. It's really fun. But I'd also love if you could put it in a way that we could share it with everyone. Because that's what we're really about here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think that's
So
pretty much it.
I think so too, Kate.
Jesus, I guess this was kind of a success.
We'll know once we listen to it.
We'll see in a sec, will we? Anywho, guys, if this does make it 2 years, thanks so much for listening. Hope you guys are staying safe.
Yeah, and we're hoping that all things going well and this working out, we'll have another episode for you next week. Hopefully, maybe around the Fantasyland attraction. Do we dare to go back to that? Who knows?
Yeah, possibly, and hopefully might have Amy Hayes joining us. Due to her lack of laptop,
Yeah.
she was unable to join us today, but she can probably obtain a laptop by next week. So all goes
And
well.
she will be there on Friday.
Oh, absolutely. She'll be there on Friday. So all goes well. Next week, we'll see you talking about another Fantasyland attraction along with Amy Hayes.
Woohoo! I'm
um,
sad that we already done Peter Pan's flight.
yeah, because in my head I was like, oh, we could do Peter Pan's Flight, and I was like, oh, we already did that, you dingus.
Yeah. Well, we'll pick something else.
We'll pick something fun.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks very much for listening, guys. Please feel free to give us a rating and a review on iTunes if that's how you choose to listen to your podcast. And send us a DM on Instagram. Let us know you're listening.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Sinead got it all. Stay safe, guys.
Fab. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.